I was in an abusive marriage in China for about 8 years. I met him through a colleague of my parents. We were both studying for our master degrees. His major is orthopedics. My major is physiology. We studied at different universities but graduating in the same year. He's 2 years older than me, as he has previously worked in the hospital in his rural town for 2 years. Got engaged in my early 20s like everyone else during that time. We seemed to have a perfect match. We're both doctors. There was no ring or wedding ceremony for our marriage. I was okay with it. I wasn't after money or any materials. However, we did dress up as bride and bridegroom for a special dinner with the relatives and the friends of his family to celebrate. My mom and uncle from my side also attended to witness this important page in my life, the transformation of me from a girl to a wife. Let's have a look how we grew up as he plays a role. I'm from middle family. My father was a locally known musician. My mom was a nurse. I have a younger sister. My ex is from a rural town. Grown up with 3 other boys, no sisters, all 4 boys. His father was a government official, the dominant person in the family. His mom was from a village. She didn't have any voice in the family. She's just doing all the house chores to look after all 4 boys as a housewife. This is a homeschooling he received. The marriage wasn't right from the start. He was previously engaged to a nurse, his supervisor's daughter. However, his dominant father ordered him to leave the nurse because he wanted him to marry a doctor. I was too young, too naive to predict how much this will affect my marriage. Looking back, he never loved me from day one. In our final graduation year, I was offered a permanent lecturer position at the big military medical university in a big city, Guangzhou. My ex could not find any good job and had to go back to his rural town for work. I contacted my employer university requesting a job offer for my partner at our university's affiliated hospitals. The university told us that orthopedic surgery is one of the most popular and highest earning position, so the department was full. During then, there was a policy called partner sympathy in China. So I begged them to do something. They finally agreed to offer him a position. So I found him a great job. We moved to metropolitan city together. He never felt grateful about this. I was subsequently in an abusive marriage with him. Initially, he was abusing me financially. I was commuting few hours each day for work. He requested my income. As a new graduate, I was quite naive. I didn't know he was trying to control my money. I didn't say anything. Everything is in his name. He was in a lucrative industry, microsurgery of replantation of severed fingers. His hospital was located at the industrial Big Avenue, with many factories nearby. The workers had the fingers chopped off by the assembling machine accidentally. They picked up their fingers from the floor and rushed to the hospital. The fingers can be replanted back under a microscope, but it's very expensive. He never told me how much money he made. Moreover, it's very common for doctors to get cash money hongbao for each surgery. I heard they might make the patient suffering during the operation if they did not get hongbao. He was controlling in all aspects. He ordered me to undergo abortion, not once but twice. When the ultrasound showed the first two pregnancies were girls, he told me to discontinue. I still feel very guilty that I killed two girls. 5 years later, I had my third pregnancy. Ultrasound showing it's a boy. I then got his approval to go ahead. However, the pregnancy didn't bring us any closer. Our relationship was worsening. He wasn't doing very well in his competitive department. He started getting addicted in gambling with neighbors. One midnight, after he lost all his money, he lost his mind. He came home trying to get more money for gambling. I was 7 months pregnant. I was knitting some baby clothes for my future son. When I tried to persuade him not to use our money and go back gambling, he hit me brutally with a metal-framed leather chair. There was 5 centimeter cut on my head, so much blood flowing down my face to the floor, all the way from the bedroom to the living room. He didn't do anything. He didn't say anything. I had to cover my head myself to stop the bleeding. In the end, I walked to the hospital in pain, got multiple stitches to stop the bleeding. What a bastard. I still had to put up with him for years because I was 7 months pregnant. I lost the two girls. I want my son. Here is a picture of his younger brother couple. His young brother is even more violent. He constantly beating up his wife, who's a beautiful, educated lady who has a great job in the taxation office. Let's see how this seemingly perfect marriage ended. Years later, he divorced me with an extremely unfair divorce agreement. He took everything, including our apartment, our savings, and dumped my son. He ordered me to move out within 2 years. During then, I already quit my permanent university lecturer job in order to apply for immigration to Australia. I still signed up to be the guardian of my son, even though I was jobless and homeless. All he gave me in this divorce agreement is half of the old furniture that he wanted to get rid of. I could not take them. As I lost the house, I had to know where to take the furniture to. I have survived physically, however. I'm still mentally injured from it today. There is a deep pain in my heart and a permanent scar in my soul. 2 years after the divorce, the Australian government I proved my skilled immigration as a university lecturer. Me and my son moved to Australia permanently. My son moved to Australia when he was about 10 years old. During those 8 years before he turned 18, my ex refused to pay any child support. I contacted him many times, but he refused to send a dollar through. I heard he bought multiple properties during that time. What a heartless, irresponsible scumbag. Here is one correspondence letter. He replied saying, "Photo received. I'm pleased that my son is good." In the end, he called himself King Grandpa. Appalling. No one uses that term. We only saw them in history movies. Even the president of China doesn't call himself a king, not to mention King Grandpa. It sounded like I were his slave and the grandchildren instead of his ex-wife. It makes me trembling even now. It brings back all those horrible memories. I share my story to raise the public awareness to domestic violence. What if I never made it out? It would never meet me. My story would never get heard. Some victims never made it out. Let's unite and say no to domestic violence, no matter it is against women, men, or children. Thank you for your time, and please support my channel.